Previously on All Africa.
Welcome to episode 6. It's March 2010. It's the final table of the All Africa Poker Tournament here in Swaziland.
Well, we are down to a final table at last. Let's go and meet the players who'll be sitting at it.
Hi, I'm Darren Anthony. I usually put my chips in. I'm not going to put my chips in with anything that I don't think is useful enough to put the chips in.
My name is Conrad Kutzer. Well, my strategy will mostly be to play good.
I'm Mauro De Rose. I'm not intimidated by people. I'm just going to see what pitch is up and we'll play it from there.
I'm Mershern Governder. I'm going to shove the chips in there and hopefully to get some luck.
I'm Gilbert Basilio. My aim is to get to that R1 million.
I'm Ray Rami. I must have hands before I try and... I won't be pushing and shoving to try and make a game of it and to try and build up my stack.
Hi, I'm Darren Kramer. I actually want to put a lot of pressure on people. I never have to put my tournament at risk, and everyone else is going to have to put theirs at risk for the meanwhile.
My name is Miguel Mineiro, more aggressively, and I think that's what you cannot be afraid of playing.
Hi, I'm Mauro De Rose. I'm going to be playing quite aggressive, waiting for a hand, waiting for a right spot.
My name is Nicholas Sisso. Hold on in the beginning. There's going to be a bit of crapshoot from the lower stacks. I believe they're also looking to double up.
And into the chip count we go. Our tournament leaders down to the final 10. Darren Kramer way up on top with almost 1.8 million. Nicholas Sisu, Conrad Kutzer, lots of big names at the final table. And of course our short stack, Mershern Governder, with only 44,000.
Well, David Daddick couldn't wait for the last 44,000 to get into the middle. He said, that's way too much money for me, I'm getting out of here. Anyway, here's your feature table, your final table. Congratulations, gentlemen. It's a pity we haven't got any ladies joining us this year.
And the very first hand of the final table, we've got an all-in. Our short stack, Mr. Governor's gone in with pocket twos, but walked into Mauro De Rose's queens.
Yeah, well, it's the little lowly ducks, and he's only got 40-odd grand, but with the antes, the blinds, and all the rest of the middle, he'd be doing well to pick up 180,000. So it's the lowly deuces of Governor. He's found the big girls, or the big woman of De Rose, and he will need a duck in a heartbeat. One more card to come for Governor to stay alive. Will he be our first victim? He will be our first victim. Governor's twos are no good, and De Rose will pick up a juicy 180. And that's the end of Mershern Governor. A wonderful performance by the gentleman. And well done, sir, out in 10th position.
So the very first hand of the final table, and already there's action. One player out.
And a nice gesture from the balance of the table and the spectators. They give the man a round of applause, and you can see he looks very satisfied and pleased with himself. It's episode 6 of the All Africa March 2010 Poker Tournament. It's the final table. That's all I have to say.
Well, Dave, we are definitely glad to see that you've recovered from yesterday. I'm sure you had a big night last night. The final table has finally arrived. Lots of big names and lots of very big chip stacks.
Yes, Darren Kramer, 1.7 million. How are they going to stop King Kramer? He's got all the chips, he's got all the skill. Definitely the best player at the poker table, I say. And hard work for the balance.
That it is. Let's go and see how they match up against King Kramer. And into the second hand here at our feature table. It is the final table of the All Africa Poker Tournament, and we've got Nick Sisu, who's thinking about a hand here.
Well, it's the first time we've seen Nick Sisu at the feature table in the last 3 days.
We did see him in quite a few all-ins, though.
Yeah, and every time I think he basically won them. I remember one particular hand where he was up against somebody who had 6-9 and the board came 5-7-8. They flopped the baby, and he had 2 over cards, ace king. There's one heart. They came running hearts to make the flush. So when you got form like that, look out everybody else.
Well, they do say that you always have to get lucky once to win a big tournament, so maybe that was his one time.
Yeah, I think that in a tournament like this, you better have a lot of luck, but more importantly, you better have a lot of skill, because you've got Darren Kramer, who's got 1.8 million chips. He's going to be testing you around every corner. And here he is. One man we've seen a lot of in this tournament, and a lot of in the footage, Dion Anthony.
We've also seen a lot of his cigar, which is a little bit shorter than it was yesterday.
Is it the same cigar, Caitlin?
I think it is, because it's never gotten bigger. It's only gotten smaller.
I think it's so cute.
Almost makes him like a cartoon character with his cigar, like Popeye.
Yeah, well, Dion Anthony has played magnificently in this tournament. I think that he's really, really played well, and he'll be very proud of himself. So here is the final table, and he'll make a raise with King Queen.
115,000.
Up to Miguel, who was our chip leader previously, but I think he's just been taken over by Darren Kramer. And look at that chip stack in front of Darren.
No, that's a stack, boy.
How much? 95,000 to call. 135 total.
I think a lot of that stack actually comes from the Dr. Pather, because they had that Kings versus Queens, so we're not exactly sure what that pot was worth. But if I know how the Doctor plays, we did see a little bit earlier on, he had quite a stack.
Called.
Wow, wow, wow. While I'm ranting and raving, Darren Kramer has chosen this spot to push over Anthony, and Anthony's made the call with King Queen, and this is 800 grand here. Wow.
This is only the second hand of the final table, and it's another all-in. Definitely not short of action here.
This is incredible. I mean, Darren Kramer thought he could pounce on Dion Anthony, could get him to fold a marginal hand, but Anthony is having none of it. He's called with King Queen for his tournament life, and this is massive stuff in the second end of the feature table.
Would you feel comfortable with an all-in with King Queen with 9 players left?
I personally don't think I'll make the call there myself, but Dion Anthony, we've seen him in previous episodes. He's not shy of getting involved. That's the way he's got here, so he's not going to slow down now. And Darren Kramer, I don't know if they've played much together in the tournament, felt that this is a good spot to use his stack, but he has been called.
So Darren counting out the chips to make the call.
Well, Dion still has to catch a card, though. He is behind, obviously. He needs a king or a queen, and otherwise Kramer's ace is good. And it's queen, ace, 8. So they both catch a piece, but Kramer pairs his ace. Darren Kramer still running hot, hot, hot. Now there's the flush draw.
King, queen, heart.
No good, and Dion Anthony is out in 9th.
A very well played tournament. We did see a lot of him in this series. A lot of action, big action player, good tournament.
Wow, 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 Darren Kramer.
Let's have a look at Dion's journey through the tournament.